Audio Jungle.
Good morning, London. It's 8 a.m. Monday, February 24th, 2020, and we have breaking news on a crisis that is currently developing in our city. I'm Hayden Ashkisser.
And I'm Shauna Malagna.
And this is the Better News Network. A potential crisis is brewing in London this morning as we've been alerted by local authorities of a potential cyber terrorist threat. Early this morning, London Hydro received a ransom video from an unknown terrorist organization. No details have yet to emerge about this group. However, BNN has access to exclusive footage sent to London Hydro.
Starting at 4 p.m. today, Monday, February 24th, London will lose its power indefinitely until our demands are met. You will transfer $10 million into account 2936969, or your city will be without power. We control the city. We control your power. The city of London will be held hostage, and many will suffer. You have 10 hours. Take off.
As you can see from the video, this is a very serious threat. London is frequently hit with random blackouts, but nothing of this magnitude since the blackout of 2003. The blackout of 2003 knocked out the power to some communities upwards of 2 weeks and affected 10 million people across southern and central Ontario. This blackout resulted in 3 deaths across Ontario.
As far as we know, this threat will not affect any neighboring cities and is only confined to the city of London. This blackout will affect all of London, from Sunningdale Road to Southminster Bourne, from Woodhall to Missouri Road. We believe it could potentially affect the rest of nearby surrounding areas such as Nilestown, Kilworth, Kamulka, Mount Bridges, and even Arma. Alright London, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
Fanshaw's one-year Accelerated Police Foundations program at the Woodstock Oxford Regional Campus offers pre-employment academic instruction and skills training to prepare you to compete for a spot in the Ontario Constable Selection System. Apply today.
Welcome back, London. According to Statistics Canada, London had a population of approximately 500,000 people in 2016 and has surely grown since then. We have a serious concern regarding this blackout affecting the roughly 84,000 elderly and 200 reported homeless people in this city.
All residents need to take precautions in this imminent crisis and be aware that this blackout will affect the city's traffic lights. All intersections will be reduced to 4-way stops.
Residents will be unable to heat their homes without wood-burning fireplaces or generators.
All pharmacies will be closed and residents will be unable to fill their prescription needs. All hospitals will remain open.
As well, all at-home medical equipment will not function.
Wi-Fi service will cease, but cell phone reception should remain working.
We've just heard we have Zach Maloof on a Skype call with us, a representative from Emergency Management Ontario. Hey Zach, what can you tell us about this imminent crisis?
Hello Hayden and Shannon. The crisis that is about to affect London, Ontario will be far-reaching. Primarily, it will affect the residents, businesses, especially those with special needs, and schools to name a few. Secondarily, the blackout will also affect consumers, adjacent townships, and London's manufacturing divisions.
What utilities will be lost, and will London have any power?
When the terrorists shut down London's power, daily life that we are used to will drastically change. Fridges will shut down, lights will go out, heat will turn off. This is problematic for all residents, but extremely dangerous for those with special needs. Without functioning medical equipment for dialysis and other medical needs, people are in danger. The elderly that are more sensitive to the cold February temperatures will be at a great risk as well. It will be important for family and friends to monitor those that will require special functioning services.
Sounds like this is a very serious threat. How do you recommend people prepare for this blackout?
The first 72 hours are extremely important in a crisis. Primarily, it is recommended that if people can leave town, to do so. The blackout will only affect London's power. For those that cannot leave town, it is important to have a well-prepared emergency kit and means of powering themselves through this time. Generators and backup fuel will be important as well as developing a self-help network to check on those with special needs.
Personally, I'm a little panicked considering this blackout. What resources are in place to help the residents of London?
Preparation will prevent panic. A proper emergency kit with blankets, bottled water, non-perishable food, and flashlights will aid most residents of London. It will be important for those with prescription medications to have a list of frequently used medications in order to be prepared. London has partnered with many agencies to aid the citizens of London. Fire and police services, which are trained to deal with blackouts, will provide emergency response and help. St. John's and Red Cross have supplies for those that need emergency kits. And additionally, plans are in place to provide for the homeless with the YMCA and the Salvation Army. This will be a collective effort to negate the effects of the blackout.
With the lack of power, how will people be able to communicate and keep updated on the blackout?
Good question. Emergency Management Ontario has set up a website as well as a hotline, 1-888-POWROUT. Residents can reference the website for information to remain prepared, and the hotline has been established to provide updates, a communication source to report concerns about specific citizens that are at risk, as well as a portal to provide resources to the citizens of London.
Okay, Zach, I understand you're a busy guy. Thank you very much for your time spent with us in the City of London. I think we can all say preparation is key, and this great city will get through this together.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
We want to stress the importance of community partners in London. The Red Cross and St. John's Ambulance are great resources for pre-made emergency kits and other emergency supplies. London Fire, Police, and Victim Services are prepared for emergency response as well as crisis intervention for primary and secondary victims. London Transit has partnered with the YMCA and the Salvation Army to provide transportation and crisis relief for the homeless and others at risk.
Pretty scary situation heading our way, right, Shannon?
Yes, Hayden, I know I'm not prepared. I don't even know if I have a flashlight that works at home. I think I have a very busy day ahead of me.
I know I do. Emergency kits are going to be crucial for all Londoners. Here's a short video from Emergency Management Ontario with recommendations for what you can get to create an emergency kit.
Is preparing a family emergency kit in plain English. Imagine that your neighborhood begins to flood in the middle of the night. You may have to leave your home quickly or wait until local authorities tell you where and when it's safe to go. In either situation, you want to be able to take care of your family for at least 72 hours while emergency workers help those in urgent need. Having a well-stocked, portable, and easy-to-find emergency kit will help make sure that you have the basic supplies to keep you and your family safe, no matter where you are. Let's talk about what goes into that kit. In an emergency, the basic services we use every day may not work. For example, your water, electricity, gas, and telephone service may not work, and it may be impossible to access cash from a bank. When these services are not available, an emergency kit can provide the basic necessities. For example, we all need water. The rule of thumb is 2 liters per person per day for 72 hours, or 3 days. It's a good idea to use small bottles that can be carried easily. Of course, we also need food. Because your kit needs to be ready at all times, use food that won't spoil, like canned goods, energy bars, or dried food that can be stored longer. If needed, baby formula and pet food may be a good idea. And remember a manual can opener to open those cans. So now your kit has a good start, food and water. What else? Well, it's dark and there's no electricity. A flashlight and radio will be handy to see where you're going and help you stay informed. These both need power, so pack extra batteries. Or even better, buy the type that can be powered manually with a crank. Cordless phones don't work when there's no electricity. Consider including a phone with a cord, too. Of course, an emergency kit wouldn't be complete without a first aid kit with the basics like bandages, antiseptic, and pain relievers. With these items, food and water, flashlight and radio, and a first aid kit, we've covered the basics. But there are some items that may not be so obvious. For example, it may be very difficult to get prescription medications in an emergency, or even long afterward. Including a couple of weeks' worth of medication in the kit will help. While you're thinking about medical needs, consider what equipment may be needed to accommodate family members with special needs. As we mentioned, it may be difficult to get cash from banks, so include small bills and change, as cash registers may not work. Lastly, keeping important documents like copies of birth certificates, wills, passports, and insurance policies in your kit can make it easier to stay organized during an emergency. Remember to include a copy of your emergency plan and contact information for friends and family who may be able to help.
Looks like I'm heading to the store tonight. We here at the BNN want to stress the importance of patience and understanding for the people of London. Store owners will be very busy providing everything needed for the public. Be smart and be safe, London.
And now we're going to tune into Sean with the weather, just to see how cold it's going to get. Hey Sean, I hope you have some good news for us.
Thanks, Shannon. No good news to report on my front. Currently, it's -5 degrees with flurries, will remain so until Wednesday. We are looking at a cold front this week with lows reaching -18 degrees and heavy snowfall, moving through Wednesday. This cold front will carry through until Friday when we will see slightly warmer weather with some sun. Be prepared, London. It's going to be a cold one.
Thanks, Sean. I'm sure I can speak for the rest of London when I say that's not what we wanted to hear. Going forward through this blackout, BNN will be reporting on AM 690 to ensure that London remains connected.
That's all from us here at BNN. Be prepared, be safe. See you, London, when the power is back on.
Audio Jungle.